Now, welcome to another news from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And before we get to it, fear not, there will be no Andor spoilers in this video for today's episode. Though if you do want to check out my review, it should be up at some point on the other channel. And so, let's talk about something else today, shall we?
Yeah, today we're going to kind of do a check-in on Jedi Survivor, which I still wanted to call Fallen Survivor. It's really embedded in me deep there. Alright, so we know Jedi Survivor, Respawn promised it like a darker tone, as Cal must do whatever it takes to stay alive as one of the last remaining Jedi of the galaxy amongst, I guess, a handful.
Well, it seems to be more and more every day we learn about, but
yeah.
okay.
I mean, the game director kind of teases that this might mean making connections with people that in other times might be considered unsavory, further kind of reflecting on the dark times that Cal and his companions find themselves in.
Curious.
Mm-hmm.
I think Saw Gerrera in the first game is a somewhat unsavory character in the long run. He's not so unsavory in that game per se, but he kind of becomes one.
We do know that.
Yes. But I'm assuming they mean more, what's the word we're looking for here?
Evil?
Perhaps a little more dark side-ish.
Maybe. Or just people who just do bad things, like pirates and stuff.
Ooh, like a Hondo.
Yeah, I like Hondo.
Everybody likes Hondo. I think he's one of those characters that very few people don't like.
I can agree with that. Cal Kestis is, like, very different from other Jedi survivors or Jedi that we've seen in general. He's got some interesting, like, details on his character design. One of those details is he's got that small black tattoo on his lower right arm, which can also be seen on, like, one of his, like, 800 ponchos. That is just like one of those small, interesting details. I think they actually may have left it off of the Black Series figure for Cal.
Yeah,
I don't think he has his tattoo.
It's probably too cheap, or they were too cheap to include it. An extra color of ink, essentially, or paint.
Yeah. According to some Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order promotional material, that tattoo was like a company logo for the salvage company he works for at the beginning of the game, which is meant to track missing workers through a chip implant. Which is kind of silly. Why would they put a tattoo on you?
I'm not sure. Like, it's like a barcode.
A chip implant is one thing, but that is different. You know?
Yeah, because if it is a tattoo and something happens to you where the tattoo is defaced, if you will, like you are eaten by something.
They have a tattoo and a chip implant.
Oh,
why
both.
would you need both?
I don't know. If you get torn in two.
I mean, some fans though have theorized that it could be a symbol for like the band Cal was listening to at the opening scene on Baraka.
It was good music too. We've heard a little bit of rock now in the Jedi or in the Star Wars galaxy.
I like
Jedi rocks and some other stuff in Rebels.
Oh yeah, Zeb had some good music.
Zeb was jamming.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Cal's tattoo could also possibly be reminding him of his troubled past. I mean, the fact that if it is related to the company he worked for, why? That's troubled to get there in the first place, to some dead end salvaging job.
I mean, I highly doubt it's something to do with the Jedi at all. Why would you? If you're trying to hide,
no,
the
but
last
we
thing
don't
you want to do
know
is
what
like,
happened to him between, fully what happened to him between this is Order 66 and here I am on this planet working salvage. Players might get some more of that during Jedi Survivor. Cal's voice actor Cameron Monaghan has mused over possibly exploring Cal's traumatic experiences as an Order 66 survivor in the sequel. And Respawn's director confirmed that Jedi Survivor will be darker than Fallen Order. And the reveal trailer certainly painted a pretty bleak future for Cal and his friends. I mean, it looks like their ship has crashed, they're being hunted by some mysterious Imperial Senator dude, and the Empire, yeah.
Who looks like a real Pa'un, unlike some other Pa'uns we've seen recently.
I don't want to talk about it.
Nobody does.
We know that the game is supposed to be next-gen console and PC only.
What's this next-gen console?
I don't even want to talk
There's been something after
We
PS4?
still haven't managed to get our hands on a PS5. We've been trying.
We've actually been trying now. Before we were just like passively. We would passively look. Now we're actually
actively trying. And
no,
there's just no.
Yeah, and I refuse to pay scalper prices.
Well, I refuse to get a GameStop Pro membership just so I have a chance at buying a machine. Yes. When they occasionally put them on sale, they're like, come on this day, and if you're a Pro member, you can have the possibility of buying one if we have one in stock. If not, everyone else can try to get one the next day. I'm like, I'm not going to join a Pro membership for the chance at getting something.
No, I'm not going to join a membership at all to get a video game system.
I just want it.
Yeah, well, whatever. We're getting off topic again.
I mean, we still have a rumor that the release date is March 7th next year. We still haven't had that in concrete.
You would think if it is March 7th, we'd kind of have that confirmed by now, unless they're kind of like in the final stages and like we don't want to commit because it might be a couple weeks for, games never hit their release date, or it's pretty rare that a game hits its release date. I feel like. So
if you don't give a release date, you can't miss it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can kind of hint and like, oh, spring is our, spring 2023 is our hopeful
projection. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but video games are, of all the different mediums of entertainment, I think video games are the one that tend to never hit their release dates or tend to miss them, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm kind of curious about is long-term, Cal Kestis. What happens to him? Is he going to ultimately perish?
We won't know until the end of the next game, really, what happens to Cal.
Yeah, I mean, I always go back to, Yoda's words in the Return of the Jedi, last of the Jedi will you be to Luke. Now, he might not mean that literally. He might mean the last Jedi that really has a shot to take down the Sith, at least in this point in time.
The last one really involved in the fight.
Yeah, obviously he's the son of the chosen one. He's had, some good training, sort of. And so, I guess you could construe that to mean, he's just saying, well, you're the only one that has a chance. Or, Ezra's still out there. Maybe Cal's out there. Ahsoka is doing Ahsoka things.
Well, we might finally know what Ezra's been up to out there.
I think we're going to, yeah. Ahsoka
and he was still a Padawan when we last saw him.
Sure.
And Ahsoka said she was nothing, so she gets to slip
She's
through
no
on a
Jedi.
technicality.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have, technically, Cal is a Padawan as well, so they're not Jedi, I guess. So Yoda was, speaking truth from a certain point of view.
Well, yeah, he's as tricky as old Ben. They probably had conversations through the Force. This is how we get around lying.
Yeah,
this is how we lie to Luke. We just
tell the truth from
a
different point of view, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm certainly excited for this. I mean, I'm super excited for this game. I thought Fallen Order has been one of the, better things here in the Disney era.
Oh, I know you really enjoyed it.
And so, I hope we will do
Ogdo Bogdo enjoyed you.
Oh, God. Let's not bring up I'm glad to know I'm not the only. I was so frustrated. I'm like, how do you kill this thing?
You were trying to kill it on stream, and I remember on the Discord, everyone's trying to tell you no, man, you're way too low level. You're not supposed to kill it now. And you're like, no, I'm killing it now.
I got laughed at a lot playing that.
You were determined
on Discord. Yeah, I streamed it on our Discord for patrons and stuff, and they got a kick out of it. I think.
Maybe we'll do that again for Survivor.
Well, maybe we'll put it on YouTube. I don't know what we'll do. We'll play it somewhere for sure. Maybe I'll replay Fallen Order before then, because we tried to play Knights of the Old Republic and stream that and kind of came to the conclusion this is going to be. It's not a very streamer friendly game because it's not very
no action.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
you're running around. I got to talk to this person, then this person, this person, and this person, and you're like side quests.
Yeah, and plus it's a game I think most people who were watching it or potentially watching it have played and know the story, so it's kind of one of those things. I don't know how exciting that game is to watch.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Move on to our second story.
Oh, we have two stories. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's kind of a fun story.
All right.
There's a bakery in California that created a life-size Star Wars bread sculpture.
Okay.
I just thought it was...
You're digging deep today.
Well, sometimes it's fun to talk about the lighter things.
This is what happens when we can't talk about Andor. We talk about bread sculptures instead.
Well, the life-size replica is Pan Solo.
Oh, my goodness. That could be interpreted a whole different way, I think, but...
Well, it's bread.
Good. I'm glad it's bread.
Hannah Lee and Catherine Perven are a mother-daughter duo behind One House Bakery in Benicia, California. They love sci-fi, and they have a tradition of crafting a replica pop culture moment out of bread. They do one every year. They made Game of Scones in 2019, followed by the Pain DeLorean in 2020, and Alligator Doki from the Loki TV series in 2021. The images are going to display throughout the article, don't worry. I do have them.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to miss it.
Yes, so this year they chose Han Solo trapped in carbonite.
Trapped in yeast, you mean?
Yeah, it took them 3 months to make it. They talk about how complicated it is to make things out of dough. It's not clay, it's not paper mache. It kind of can have a mind of its own, because when you bake it, it's going to expand or shrink or crack or have bubbles, so then they have to redo sections. A lot of trial and error making a bread sculpture. Yes, Pan Solo was debuted to the world and the local community and has responded well to him, sometimes apparently a bit too well. They come to take pictures with him, they touch him, smell him.
Do they eat him?
poke at him.
Do they take pieces and consume?
I mean, one of the owners of the shop kind of laughed and said, "We just repaired another hole in him today. I think he's had his nose broken at one point, just like the actual Harrison Ford. People just want to touch it." They were happily surprised that the official Star Wars Instagram account commented back to them, "We'll bring the blue milk."
There
and I saw Harrison Ford has also commented to him as well.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's really cool to have something like making a Han Solo in carbonite life-size bread can bring attention from all over the world to the, mother-daughter bakery.
Even News from Naboo has covered it. I mean, that's, you've made it when we cover it.
I don't know. It might mean something else.
Yeah, it means...
Sorry, bakery.
No, I mean, that's cool.
I wish we lived out there. I would love to try something from the bakery. I was on their Instagram account looking for those other pictures. It took me a long time to scroll back years to find the previous ones.
Jeez.
And I was like, their food looks so good. It made me really hungry while I was going through those.
Should have popped up some Naboo puttercorn.
You're done. Wrap us up.
Well, that is all we got for you this time, so take to the comments below. Tell us what you thought of any and all of today's news, or what you think of Han Solo. So let's talk some Star Wars, and until next time, thanks for watching.